Hi, I am Dr.D.Sathya, Working Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, SNS College of Engineering. Today we are going to discuss about in electrochemistry conductometric titration. So conductometric titration is a laboratory method of quantitative analysis used in identify of the concentration of the given analyte in a mixture. So the conductometric titration involves the continuous addition of the reactant to the reaction mixture and the documentation of the corresponding change in electrolytic conductivity of the reaction mixture. It can be noted that the electrical conductivity of an electrolytic solution is dependent on the number of pre-ions in solution and the charge corresponding of the each ion. So it is an electrochemical method of analysis is concerned with electrical condenses through an electrolytic solution. It's a defined as a determination or measurement of electrical conductance of electrolytic solution by means of the conductometer. So the electric conductivity of electrolytic solution depends on the type of ions, which is the cations, anions, or singly or doubly charged anion, or concentration of the ions and temperature, mobility of ions. So the principle of conductometric titration. The principle of conductometric titration process can be during the titration process, one ion is replaced with another, and the difference in the ionic conductivities of these ions directly impacts the overall electrolytic conductivity of the solution. That means the based on the conductance of electric current through the electrolytic solution similar to the metallic conductor. So the electric conductance in the accordance with the Ohm's law, which states that the strength of current passing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference and inversely to resistance. So I is equal to V by R. Here the conductance which current flows per unit area of conductor per unit potential applied is the reciprocal to the resistance. So here the conductometric titration of acid with base, some general process is going. So the instrumentation of used for the measurement of conductance are known as the conductometers. It consists of the current source, conductivity cells and electrodes. So that when electrical potential is applied across the electrodes, the two process occurs. The ions accumulate near the electrodes, the transfer of charge through the interface. Note the DC current is not employed in conductance measurement because the electrode becomes polarized, leading to the high cell resistance. So the conductivity cell made up of the 5x or quartz and or fitted with the two platinum electrodes should be placed in vessel containing the water to maintain the constant temperature. So the type of the conductivity cell is wide mounted cell. The second one cell for the reaction producing the precipitation, dip type cells. Electrodes of platinum sheets each of 1 centimeter square are fixed at the distance 1 centimeter. The surface is coated with the platinum black to avoid the polarization effects and increase the effective surface area. So the plantization of the electrode is done by coating of solution 3% chloroplatinic acid and lead acetate on gate, the uniform coating. So the electrodes usage depends on the conductivity and the concentration. So if the concentration is low, then the electrode should be largely or closely packed. The measurement of the conductance, the instrument used to measure the conductance is called the conductance bridge or conductometer. So classical circuit employed for the measurement is Wheatstone bridge. All other work on this picture. The conductometric titration, the introduction, the process of qualitative chemical analysis in which the concentration sample is determined, which is done by the addition of reagent. That means the titrant is known as the concentration measured volumes in a sample. So the type of conductometric titrations are the acid-base titration, replacement titration, redox titration, and precipitation titration, complementometric titration, and non-aqueous titration. So these are the types of conductometric titrations. Here the strong acid, strong base. For example, HCl versus the NaOH. HCl is a strong acid and strong base is a NaOH. Then strong acid versus weak base. That means HCl versus ammonium hydroxide NH4OH. The third one, weak acid and strong base. Weak acid acetic acid versus the strong base sodium hydroxide. The last one, weak acid with weak base. Weak acid means acetic acid and weak base is ammonium hydroxide. So what are the advantages of conductometric titration? Some advantages of the conductometric titrations process are here. The process is very useful. Titrations are very dilute solution and weak acids. The endpoint of this method of titration is very sharp and accurate when compared to the few other technique, titration process. This type of titration is applicable for solution that colored or turbid, and for the endpoint of the titration with the normal indicators cannot be observed easily by the human eye. So the conductometric titration has numerous applications in acid-base titrations, redox reactions and redox titrations and precipitation titration and complex titrations. It's very suitable for colored solutions also, used for analysis of weak acid, weak bases and mixture of weak and strong acids. So some disadvantages of the conductometric method. So only a few specific redox titrations can be done with the help of this process. So this is because the conductivity of the solution is masked with relatively high hydronium ion concentration, and the accuracy of conductometric titration is low when the concentration of the electrolyte are high. So the making the titration process is unsatisfied.